Hey guys, Tex here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday, July 13, 2021. So in this video, I just wanted to do a quick impromptu video giving you my first impressions of the TradeStation platform. So I opened up a brokerage account with TradeStation, which is a full service broker that allows you to trade stocks, options, futures, and even Forex, and I think crypto as well. Because I love the idea of being able to trade all the instruments that I like to trade with one broker and one platform. Apparently, that's a lot to ask for in the trading professional services sector. But anyways, I did open up an account with TradeStation. I'm giving the platform a go here. This is my second day using the platform. I haven't really started any live trading with the platform yet, though. So that's going to be the big question mark. But I'll just give you my first impressions of the platform itself in this video. And if all goes well and I continue to use the platform, I'm going to start doing some live trading on it. And I'll keep you guys posted on the channel how that goes as well. So with that said, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. All right, guys, so welcome back. First and foremost, you can see that I have TradeStation, of course, pulled up here in front of us. And you don't have to say that when it comes to the aesthetics of the platform, I'm pretty pleased with it. I mean, it looks good. There's some really kind of some cool indicators that I haven't, been experimenting with a little bit. For example, this one right here, if I kind of blow up this chart, this is the volume distribution indicator. And you can see each of these 15-minute candles has this volume distribution overlaid on top of the candle. And this is kind of like your volume profile, right? Because in a 15-minute period, there's a lot of trading that occurred in this candle. So I can see, without going to a smaller time frame, where the most volume occurred in this 15-minute period. So that's kind of cool. It's just something, not a selling point on its own, but just kind of a cool indicator that I found. I really haven't gotten all my indicators totally set up the way that I want. I mean, you can see I have the prior day's high, prior day's close, prior day low. I have all that on there, my moving averages and my VWAP and stuff like that. But anyways, like I said, my first impressions of the platform is that it's actually pretty nice. It has a lot of capabilities, of course, but it also has some kind of quirks to it that are different from other charting platforms. You guys know who've been following me for a long time. I've used everything from Thinkorswim to eSignal to TC2000. And it seems like all of the platforms have at least one thing or a couple of things that they do really well. And it's like, if we could just have one platform that takes the best of all of them, that'd be fantastic. But, I'm not a software developer, so I couldn't create something like that myself. But just in general, talking about the platform, like I said, so far, I spent the whole weekend just getting the platform set up, trying to figure out how to put the settings the way that I want and get my charts all set up and all that good stuff. And I'm probably still going to make some tweaks here and there. But, I've only used it for 2 trading days, yesterday and today. And so far it's performed flawlessly in terms of, just the market data flowing through the platform. It was smooth off the open. I haven't noticed any, distinguishable lag or, any significant latency or anything like that. It's performed really, really well. Now, like I said, the big question mark is going to be how well are the executions. And if I had to guess, I would probably suspect that it's not going to be better than Lightspeed in terms of the speed of executions. In fact, I have kind of heard mixed reviews online of people having execution issues, people having really slow executions. But I do also know other professional traders who use this platform and swear by it, and they have no problems with executions. Now, every platform is going to have its issues from time to time. If it's a day when, TradeStation is having issues, then you're probably going to have, slow executions, right? But the question mark is, over time, consistently, are the executions good? Are they fast enough? Are they of good quality that you can actually trade and, obviously not lose money because something doesn't get executed when it should have? Like I said, I would suspect that, especially when it comes to breakout trading, when you're talking about, trading breakouts when momentum and volatility is really high, and it's just super important that you have a platform that can execute just lightning fast like Lightspeed can. I suspect TradeStation is going to fall a little short there. The question remains, is it acceptable or not? Now, one of the reasons that I really am kind of drawn to this platform, besides the fact that, like I said, it's a full service broker, so I have the ability to trade every single instrument all within one platform, is because my trading is evolving as we learn to trade, and the years go by. We evolve as traders. We learn new strategies and new techniques and things like that. And like I said, most of you guys who've been following me know that I'm primarily a scalper, and I'm actually like almost what I would call a hyper scalper, right? I am generally in and out of trades really fast, especially breakout trades. And the Lightspeed platform is fantastic for that because it's streamlined. It doesn't have a lot of like bulky features that, kind of weigh down the performance of the platform. So it can really just focus on what's important, and that is, the quality of your executions. So I would suspect that when it comes to trading breakouts like that, the Lightspeed platform is probably hands down still going to be the best. But the direction of trading that I really want to grow into is I would say more professional, right? Because a professional trader isn't going to be scalping like tiny little moves like I do, right? Usually I'm looking at a 1 minute chart when I'm scalping, and I'm taking my profits when I get that first move in my favor, and that first 1 or 2 minute candles that rip higher, I'm out, right? I'm out, and that's fine. But I really want to develop into a trader that can milk these trades for all that they're worth, because there's been so many times in the past where I take profits early like that as a scalper. And of course, when we're talking about trading breakouts, it's important you take profits fast, but I want to get to the point where I can milk the trade for more. Because one of the concepts that I've been learning is the importance of price and time, right? As traders, we always talk about price. Like you say, okay, I know where my stop loss is going to be and where my profit targets are going to be, but I'm not even giving any consideration to the time aspect of it, right? Because when we look at a stock chart, there's the X and the Y axis. You have the price axis on the vertical plane here, and you have the time axis on the bottom. And for me personally, I've never really given much weight to that time axis, right? And if you're not doing that, then you're really kind of cutting yourself short in terms of analyzing trades and things like that. If you're just saying, here's my price targets, and it either hits or it doesn't, and you're not considering the time factor, then you can really either end up leaving a lot of money on the table, or you end up giving back money unnecessarily. So for example, today, let me just bring this over here. You can see today, on my Lightspeed account, I'm finishing the day up just over $1,500. Now, yesterday I lost about $3,000 because I was stubborn and, just unnecessarily. But I have been sizing up, so that's part of the reason. Yesterday's loss should have only been like $1,500, but I was stubborn with Amazon and just made things a lot worse than it needed to be. So today the goal was to come in and just get a good green day in, not try to focus on making the loss back, right? Because one of the biggest things when you have a big losing day is to come in and just get a small green day, just get something, just get a green day to build that confidence back up. Because let me tell you what, guys, when you have a big losing day, your confidence is going to be the most difficult thing to build back up, not the capital, right? The capital that you lost will be made back, but not before you get your confidence back. And if you have a big losing day and you come in the next day all gung-ho to make that loss back, and then you have another big losing day, it's going to be that much harder. It's going to take you that much more time to build your confidence back up to get to where you could make the loss back. So the goal today was to size down, but even me sizing down today is still bigger size than I've been trading over the past year or so, but to size down and just focus on taking good trades. And I feel like I did a good job of that today, with the exception of Tesla, where I lost, just over $1,300 because I held on to Tesla just a little bit too long. But just kind of getting into what I was talking about, the importance of the price and time aspect of trading, and why it's an important thing to consider that I never really did before. So I want to just use Amazon as an example here, and why, essentially how that ties into using this platform, right? So I'm going to blow up this chart, and again, just kind of bear with me as I'm still learning this platform. But as we were looking at Amazon this morning, I kind of posted in the chat room that we're still consolidating. Let's actually go to the hourly chart. talking about, Amazon broke out and it's been consolidating for 3 or 4 days right up here, kind of in between 3,700 to 3,750, right? So we were looking at this nice consolidation on Amazon, looking for a breakout higher, looking for this macro breakout that we saw in the longer time frames to continue higher after a nice period of consolidation. All right, so off of the open, going back to our 5-minute chart here, off of the open, I liked how on pre-market here, we were holding right over 3,700, which 3,700 is like obviously a huge whole number, big psychological number. You also had this prior low of day sitting just below that. So I really liked Amazon for a push in the morning. And I did take a small trade on this push here. I only took one contract, really didn't get that much out of it because I started to focus on Tesla. And then once I ended up getting out of Tesla for a loss, I came back to Amazon and I noticed that we got the push here. We were trading just underneath of the prior day's close and just underneath of pre-market high levels, and it looked good. It was reclaimed the moving averages. It looked like it was going to coil up and explode higher, at least into the prior day's high, and then ideally we get up to 3760, which is the breakout level, which is right at the all-time high. So I ended up taking this trade right here on this, as this 5-minute candle opened higher. I pulled the trigger on this, and I literally, all I did, guys, I bought, let me pull this over here. So right here, I bought one of the 3720 calls at $36.90. All right. And so I bought that one call, and my target on this in terms of price is up here at 37.42, which is the prior day's high. But tying in that importance of considering time as well as price, when this 5-minute candle ripped higher and it failed to hit my price target, but this 5-minute candle was about to close, I sold time. So considering time and target and the importance of both of those, if you get a 5-minute candle, and you'll see this on just about any chart you look at, when a stock has a big expansion of range higher or even lower, when you see this 5-minute candle with a big expansion of range higher, most of the time the 5-minute candles will close near the high of the candle. So this 5-minute candle ripped, but it did not hit my price target. So because the candle was about to close, I had to sell time instead of target. Okay, so by doing that, I ensured that I locked in solid profits in case it reversed, and I at least locked in solid profits, and I milked this entire 5-minute candle. So I sold that. I bought that contract at $36.90, and I sold that contract at $45. So I got almost 10 points out of that candle. Really incredible with just one contract. Okay, so that's really, really cool. Now, the next trade I took was here on this 5-minute candle. As we dipped down, I actually put a limit order about where I thought the premiums would go, because I was hoping we could get just a dip a little bit lower into the pre-market high area right here, and that's where I would add back into the trade and then take profits up here into my original target, which was that prior day's high. I did not get filled on my limit order because the price did not drop low enough and it got bought back up. So I had to hit the ask to get in. So I bought another 37.20 call because that is, it's actually in the money, but it was trading the most volume that was close enough to at the money. So it made sense that I just stuck with that strike price. So I bought another 37.20 call, and I got filled on that one contract at $45.40. And we got the push up here into that prior day's high, but the premiums really didn't expand as much because you can see this, there's not a lot of volatility here, right? You kind of have this consolidation candle and then this doji candle. So there just really wasn't as much volatility here on this push up into the prior day's high. So I ended up selling that contract for $49.20, and that made an extra $380 right there. Then the next trade I took was right here. So I noticed how we pushed up in the prior day's high, we pulled back, and this candle came down and wicked right into the 5-minute 9 EMA. And that 5-minute 9 EMA is such a big indicator to pay attention to, right? So blow that up a little bit for you here. This got bought up right off that 5-minute 9 EMA. And as we came back up here, it looked really good for a move up through 37.50, which is here, and up to 37.60. So I sized in on this one, took a bit more risk. I bought 6 contracts. I got filled on 3 at $35.40 premium, and I got filled on another 3 at $35.85. I actually did not get filled the first time I hit the button because, price started moving away pretty quickly. So I got in with 6 contracts, and I really didn't get filled where I would have liked to kind of reduce some of the risk on the trade. So I basically threw out an order to sell half my position, literally just $1 or so above where I got in. And again, this is because I'm in with size and I didn't get filled ideally where I wanted on the premium. So what that did is that ensured that I'm only $1 away from my entry price, so I'm almost confident that that order should have no problem filling. That immediately removes half the risk from the trade because I'm selling 3 out of 6 contracts. And I locked in $375 on just those 3 contracts alone. And now I feel a lot more comfortable. I've essentially, paid for the trade for the remaining 3 contracts to work to see if they can, see if I can capture a nice rip higher on this 5-minute candle. So as it does rip higher, I start scaling out, after I sold. So I bought, I was in at $35 and change on my cost average. I sold 3 of those 6 contracts at $36.65, so about $1 higher on the premium. And then I sold another contract at $38.40. I sold another one at $37.60, and I sold my last contract at $40 even because I just threw a limit order out above the price to see if it would get there. And I think I ended up getting filled right here at the close of this 5-minute candle. So I missed this little bit here, but I was able to hit both time and target. So that's where we are. I mean, in terms of the trade here on Amazon, I'm extremely happy with the way I managed the trade. The entries were spot on, the exits were spot on, and again, just tying into that that time and target concept. So, all right, so long-winded, getting into the platform. Besides the fact that they're this full service broker that allows you to trade all of the instruments that I'm interested in trading in, my hope is that this platform will kind of force me to be less hands-on, kind of micromanage my trades less than I do with Lightspeed. Because with Lightspeed, it's so easy to get in and out of trades just instantly. It's very easy to get kind of lulled into really micromanaging your trades. And I want to get to the point where I can put trades on with stops and profit targets in place before it ever gets to the point where I have to think about micromanaging. So what I have over here is, let me just switch over to this other monitor. So I have an execution window up over here on my side monitor. And you can open multiple pages, or I think they call them workspaces, in the platform here. And again, I'll do an in-depth tutorial of the whole platform at some point, but just giving you my initial thoughts so far. But you can see I have it set up so I can monitor 3 different strikes for whatever stocks I want to. But in this case, I just have it all up here on Tesla. But I can monitor 3 different strikes. I can see the market depth, the time and sales. I have, my order buttons and stuff across the bottom. And then also I have stock charts, which is actually really, really cool. So let me just see, where is Tesla trading right now? So Tesla is trading about 670. So let's see, 665, 667 is the low of day. So if I come in here and just change this to 665, is that? Yeah, there we go. All right, so we're going with a at the money strike price. And obviously this isn't necessarily a trade that I would take. I just want to use this as demonstration purposes. But one of the really cool things that you can do, which I'm sure you can do with other platforms, but again, this kind of ties into the hands-off, kind of less micromanaging, putting a trade on with stops and profit targets in place right from the get-go, so you just sit back and let the trade work for you. Hopefully that will help me in terms of my patience and my tendencies to micromanage trades. But for example, if I was looking at trading these 665 calls, first of all, I love that you have charts for options here. Now, you can trade options, of course, without a chart. I do it all the time with Lightspeed. But it is actually kind of helpful. If I blow the chart up, I can kind of see where the premiums have previously traded, right? So if I'm playing a possible bounce here and I'm looking at, where will the premiums potentially go, I could kind of line this chart up with the same patterns that I'm seeing on Tesla's underlying chart to get a sense of where the premiums might go and where I might be able to take profit orders. Now, obviously, there's a lot that goes into pricing options. Time decay is one of those. So if you're trading contracts that are out of the money, the premiums may not hit the price that you're seeing here that it did in the past. So just something to consider, but it can kind of give you a reference, a visual reference that might help you in terms of, picking good spots to take profit orders. So going back over here, for example, let's say that I wanted to just buy this right now, but I wanted to also put in a stop loss order and a take profit order at the same time that my trade gets executed. So what you can do is come down here and attach an OSO order. You have different options, but this one, if we're just going with one contract, this is pretty straightforward. We can basically have a stop loss order, which would be a market order. And we can have a take profit order, which is a limit order that gets submitted at the same time. So if I click on this, you can see that I have it set right now. So my stop market order is $1 below the premium that I get filled at, and my take profit order is $3 above the premium I get filled at. So 1 to 3 risk reward automatically calculated into the trade right from the get-go, right? So I can come in here and just click on the ask price. And then it's already moving here. Let's just click on the ask price and then buy to open.
Order filled.
And we get filled. And you can see that it marks up the chart with your trades and your entries. So that's actually kind of a cool thing because I've never been able to really share my options trades with you in terms of my entries and exits on the chart because Lightspeed just doesn't offer that. But anyways, you can see, so I'm in the trade. My position is shown right here on the level 2. I got filled at a premium price of $14. So that means my stop loss is down here at $13. So I don't have to think about this, guys, right? I just let the trade work. If I took a valid setup and I calculate the risk reward on the trade and the price target and everything else, I just set it up, send the order, and let it work. Just sit back and leave it the heck alone. Scroll down here, you can see my take profit order all the way up there at $17. So, the premium would have to get back up here to this area to get filled on my take profit order. So it's actually kind of cool. I think, like I said, I'm sure you can do that with other platforms, but I do love that, I think I just love the way that this platform is laid out in terms of, this execution page and how you can really customize things. So that's something that I thought was pretty interesting. And then let's go back over to our main page. So coming back over here, one of the things that you can do that I really like, let's go back to Amazon's charts, is you can set up this, what they call the matrix, which I think in Thinkorswim, it's called Active Trader. But essentially, this is your market depth, right? Similar to what you were seeing here. Here's your traditional market depth where you have the bid on the left and you have the ask on the right. So you can see where buyers are stacking up on the left and where the sellers are stacking up on the right. This actually puts it into more of a ladder kind of format here. And what's cool about this is that I don't know, to me, it's a lot easier to read the market depth and see where the sellers and buyers are really stacking up at. Additionally, you can see the volume actually just like a volume profile that's developing over here on the right side. You see these volume bars, so you can see like where the most volume was traded on the day. And you can see, obviously when price comes into a high volume area, that there's going to be a lot of sellers up there or a lot of buyers down there, right? So it's just easier to see. And furthermore, you can change the price increments here. So for example, for Amazon, I have it set on $1 price increments. Because Amazon is trading at $3,700 a share, I don't need to see every single penny on the price ladder, right? It's actually more useful to see it in dollar increments. If you were trading something, cheaper, like maybe Apple or something, maybe it'd be better to have it set on quarter increments, so every 25 cents. So it's just really cool that you can make that adjustment, and I think it just I don't know, visually for me, it just makes it so much easier to see how many sellers are at what levels and how many buyers are at what levels. And then additionally, you have this nice volume bar over here that's developing the volume profile. You know, we talk about the market profile in terms of, you know, considering price and time. And I think it's just really helpful to have that right there. So this feature alone is really amazing with this platform. It's not unique to them. I know NinjaTrader also offers this, but it's definitely something that that I'm liking. Then, of course, you have your time and sales, pretty much very traditional there. This one is set up so it shows us larger orders. So obviously there's no really big orders coming through, but if a big order comes through here, it will highlight whether it came through at the ask, above the ask, at the bid, or below the bid. And that can be useful, obviously, because if you see a lot of large size orders coming through below the bid or at the bid, obviously that's going to be putting a lot of selling pressure on the stock. And if you're short, you're going to love it. And if you're long, you're not going to like it. So it can be helpful for sure. Again, it's not unique to this platform, but that's just generally what we're looking at. Let me switch over to another stock. Maybe that'll be easier. Something that's actually moving, right? So here's a couple of big orders that are coming through in between the bid and the ask. I think it's anything over 10 is what it's set to, and you can adjust that, of course. But and like I said, you know, there's some quirks and stuff about the platform that's different from other platforms that just takes some getting used to. I don't remember if I talked about this. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but just one of the cons is how confusing it is to make changes to the settings in the platform, because there's lots of different areas where you can change your preferences and stuff. Like these are global preferences that you can change for the platform, but each window has its own settings that you can come in and you can customize. So it, you know, just like I said, just navigating your way through the platform, I think it's not super intuitive, maybe not as intuitive as other platforms, but there's still a lot of learning that I have to do. I haven't really experimented too much with the drawing tools, so I'm not sure how well that works. I think TC2000 is still going to be really the winner in that department because of how they handle drawing tools on drawing boards versus style templates like eSignal does. I'm not really sure how TradeStation handles that just yet. So yeah, there's a lot of ins and outs that I'm still learning with the platform, but as I use the platform some more, and once I wire in some more money so that I can go ahead and start live trading on the platform to test out the execution quality and all that good stuff, I will, of course, keep you posted on the channel how that goes. And if I do continue to use the platform, I'm sure I'll have lots of tutorial videos and things like that to help you guys out if any of you guys are using TradeStation or looking at it at some point in the future. All right, guys, so I apologize for the long-winded video, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found some value from it. Be sure and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions relating to my trading or, you know, platforms, anything like that. I'll be happy to answer those for you. So I'm going to end it there. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week. Take care, and we'll see you guys in the next video.